Hi, everyone. It's me, Krylios, Team Racing Productions MC and producer. And joining me today is MoonManFlo. Welcome.
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good?
It's great to have you here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm making a lot of big transitions all kind of at one time.
Mhm,
I like to tell people a lot. I'm a one man show. That does not
mhm.
stop me, but it's just a lot of chaos that happens at one time, and I just make it work.
Certainly, certainly. Well, I want to kick this all off with having you let our viewers know who MoonManFlo is.
Mm.
And yeah, just let us know a little bit about you.
Man, a little bit would be a lot, and to know me is to know my art. So I always tell people if you want to know more about me, follow me on things, watch when I drop music, when I drop films, anything and everything, because I'm always up to something.
Yeah, yeah.
But and so I mean a little bit about myself, I guess I'll get, into the very root and core of myself. I was born in Savannah, Georgia, Army kid, traveled around. Even after I graduated high school, I tried to get out of, the places that I'm from.
Mhm.
And I just became a bit of a journeyman, and I met so many people in my life with just uh, great stories, great personalities, great relationships. And I always come back to these people in all these different places, no matter where they are. So I'm a person who is trying to find what home is for himself. And now I'm at a point with which
Mm.
I am creating the stability to create the home for myself.
Awesome. Perfect. Tell me
Mhm.
how you came up with the name Moonman Flow.
Oh man, big Kid Cudi fan. And I've gone through
Uh,
so many phases with my name. It all started, everything I do is because it was useful. So I
mhm,
started as, oh man, I started as Young Quest. Shout out to Nemo. When I was
mhm.
13 is when I got into music and putting it out online. I was Young Quest with a three, not a E. I used to say that in songs. And then I just kept changing my name to find something. And then I did music with my high school friend. Shout out to David Boulevard, Grammy nominated engineer. Love that guy. I started making music with him at his house. And that same spot is now a Dollar General. It's like you could go in there and get chips in the same spot I recorded my first album. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
But we both kind of did our thing with the music. We met up, we did a collaboration, and my verse was over the phone. And
Mhm,
so I'm doing my verses hard, and we're like, he's got an actual studio in his room, and I got my phone.
mhm.
But the song was called Stars, and so I made my verse about being like, near the moon and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, just call me Moon Man because it sounds like a radio transmission, and we don't have to explain why the difference in
Uh-huh.
quality is there. And I just kind of ran with it, and there was some things with that name associated, so I just made it personal, Moon Man Flow.
Mhm.
But it also just derives from I'm a really big Kid Cudi fan.
Awesome, awesome. Your journey with your name almost is like, as you said before, finding that home, settling in
Absolutely.
into something. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
even up here, it's like I play Street Fighter professionally, one of the best one-out
mhm.
players in the world, if y'all know who that is, you know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
wow.
And
Okay.
this is my first retired jersey of the organization I'm currently a part of. I'm getting another one
Mhm.
with MoonMan Flow on it. But this is when my name was FKA Moonman, and I that was
Mm.
because I was a big fan of FKA Twigs, and once
Twigs.
I learned that FKA is formerly known as, I'm like, that's me. I'm formerly known as
Mhm.
Moonman, so that'll be my gaming persona. But now I'm like, I just want to be MoonMan Flow. So
Awesome. Well, you said you got into music at 13. How did you get into music? And what's that journey been like since then?
A very, I mean, music has always been a part of my family. My dad is a great instrumentalist and singer, and my family sings or does something musically at some part. It's just kind of a thing
Mhm.
that's a part of our family. So I grew up with it. I dealt with some of my most painful moments, like my one of my older sisters, like going off to she was a high school and then she was going
Mhm.
off to do career stuff. So I was like, oh no, my sister's leaving. Then I listened to Don't Walk Away by Michael Jackson on repeat and
Mhm.
stuff like that. While also doing just listening to Michael Jackson, period. I think that Michael Jackson as a kid,
Mhm.
um, who's aware of what music means is where it began. And it
Ah.
began a lot sooner, if we're being honest. But as I got older and started to do it more, I got into Bone Thugs and Harmony. I started to
Mhm.
practice doing their verses, Twista, Tech Nine, all of these rappers. And then I get to middle school, and one of my friends is like, "Hey, you trying to rap?" And I'm like, "Huh?" And then and we just start passing like verses back and forth in class. And then like we started freestyling, we were battling at lunch, other people got involved. And then I was just bored in the house one day and I was like, "Hey, you trying to make a song and put it on MySpace?"
Hmm.
And I got my mom work headset. I know how to use Audacity, bro. If you could just record something and send it to me, I could put it together. And then we have made a first couple of songs, and then I was like, that was people liked it, and I'm
Hmm.
like, that was fun. I want to keep doing it. And shoot, 13 years later, now it's my career.
There you
And
go. There
more.
you go. Well, tell me what kind of themes and messages and things you like to explore in your music. When you sit down to say, I'm gonna write this track, I
Uh-huh.
got something on my heart. What usually is that?
So my process has changed every album that I've made, and I make albums quickly. Like music
Mhm.
became so much a
By
part
the
of
way, how many
myself.
altogether? How many albums?
I think I have around 10 publicly available,
Mm-hmm.
but if I had to put my discography in like a bracket of like what you can find and what you can't, I have around 200 or so songs in my official discography.
Mm.
I have what's called my extended discography. You can still find it, but it's difficult. That's
Mm.
around 500 songs.
Okay.
And then there's anything that I've ever touched or made of all like ever, well over 2000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but get back to the process you
Process.
were saying. Yeah.
And so going to each album, I always have to look at something in my life. Like, and that's why I say my music is very personal because I'm always talking about myself, but I hide
Mm-hmm.
it in a way that you'll never know unless you know me personally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because my music is personal. I do it a lot. I'm always talking about myself, whether you know it or not. So get to know me and everything will make sense. So it's a tool to let people who I don't, because I'm a journeyman, it's a tool to let people catch up to who I am. The more recent you hear my albums, the quicker you get to know me. But you have to hear the album. If you pick a song, you're gonna hear me as entertainment, and I'm gonna be like, ah, no, that's not me. Because you're gonna call me
Mm-hmm.
like, you're gonna hear this one song and you're gonna call me Kendrick Lamar. You're gonna hear this other
Mm-hmm.
song, you're gonna call me Bon Iver. You hear this other song, you're gonna call me, I don't know, Gene Dawson. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, those tracks were inspired by those artists, but me as a whole, you'll receive who I am through my albums, not my songs.
Speaking of, inspirations and, having an eclectic music taste,
Hmm.
when it comes to producing your own music, it seems like you span, many different genres when you're ready.
Yeah.
What are your favorites to get into and to touch when you're producing?
So when I really am inspired, I listen to a lot of bedroom indie. I listen to a lot
Mm-hmm.
of like old things, classical music, jazz, African tribal music. I also listen to my friends who are kind of in that anti-pop genre with myself
Mm-hmm.
and all these other different genres. And I'm like, oh yeah, like anything that just sounds like it shouldn't be here is what I'm trying to find inspiration of because then I can add to it and now it's completely new every single time.
I love that. I really, really like that. Okay. Talk to me about performing
Oh
actually
boy.
on stage.
Yeah.
What performing is like for you, your favorite
Oh, I
thing,
love it.
and how that has changed or not changed
Yeah.
because of the pandemic.
I love it. I would always say my musical roots is as an MC. I learned how to battle rap, I learned how to freestyle, and I'm comfortable on stage with my writtens. Like easily by far, I feel like I'm one of the best rappers ever.
Mhm.
But to add on top of that, I just want every performance to be different because that'll make the experience worth it. You now have to either choose to record this or put it down. If you put it down, you're gonna have a great time. If you record it, you'll be able to look at it later, but you won't experience what everyone next to you felt. And so I never do the same performance twice. And it's
Mhm.
because I have ADHD. I don't have the time to kind of practice everything. So what I'm gonna do is if I mess up, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna ad lib. I'm gonna maybe harmonize with my song instead of singing it directly. Maybe this time it doesn't have tracks. I'm now
Mhm.
getting into live instrumentation, so I'm gonna do my first full set for my mother with guitar because I just learned how to play guitar. And
Mhm.
just recently, if you catch my Ohu Reku sets, I do a mix of improv theater and improv comedy. So as the
Ah.
song is happening, I'm doing a stage play, and in between transitions, I'm doing improv comedy.
Oh, I love that. I always like talking to creatives and,
Mhm.
learning about other things they're interested in or other things that they're involved in when it comes to, that creative spirit, that creative spark. Do you just mention, basically a play in
Yeah.
between? What other things are you interested in when it comes to really having your creative juices flow and putting something out there?
Man, I like embracing the space. A lot of what I create, I make music from my room, and clearly I have everything from my life everywhere. So I just have all these things that remind me where I was while I was there. I have pictures of people in my room. For example, on my whiteboard, I have this Polaroid of me and my best friend.
Oh,
Um, the recent campaign I did at KatsuCon, Where's Flow
uh-huh.
Polaroid, and I have my sister right here at the work desk because she is everything to me. And so I
Awesome.
just have all these people, things that people have given me, my accomplishments, things that I need to do, and even down to my high school football jersey. Like these, yeah, yeah, and it's part of the promotion for more stuff. But people will know that if they know me. You see how
Yeah,
these
yeah.
things exactly. Um, but yeah, it's always about the environment. And anyone in '90s TV, part of a label I run, and other music guys, when they come in this space, they feel it and they make some
Yeah.
of the best music ever. And I just have some of the greatest music that's never been released on my computer, and I'm so thankful
Hmm.
for it.
I love that. I love that. Well, looking forward to the rest of 2022.
Absolutely.
What are your hopes? What are your goals? What are you, hoping to accomplish during this year?
Man, so much. So my year is booking up so quickly and I love it. I am part of the web series Brotherland. Shout out to Cardo Wanzer. Great TV series. Everyone watch it. Season 1 is out. We're working on a movie this summer, and we're gonna be
Oh.
dropping more about that. So that's happening.
Hmm.
Personally, I'm looking at philanthropy through the youth and abstract art. For my
Hmm.
high school, I want to start to give kids pathways out of a school that's known for academia. So I'm starting to give scholarships to kids who took non-traditional routes out of that school. A kid like me, Nick Bell,
Hmm.
he's a D1 commit to play football at Navy, right around the corner. That's my guy, and being able to coach him, I'm like, okay, he's got a full ride there. That doesn't happen at this school. He's
Yeah.
gonna get scholarship money. We got Kylie Brown, the head coach, football head coach's daughter. Like, she plays a sport. She's been the equipment manager for years, dealing with us and the football team.
Hmm.
Seen her since she was a little kid because her dad became the head coach of us when I was a senior. And just watching their growth. I'm watching all these people's growth, like since they're kids, because I've always been involved in my school. And I'm growing up with this school, and I'm like, wow, there's so many brilliant minds that just don't have the opportunity or the finances to discover themselves and make the world great. So I want to start incentivizing not just academia. It's not always about what you can read, write, or do with books, getting a grade. It's about how creative you are and how you manifest your goals, how you manifest visions of yourself, and are you doing everything possible to achieve those goals? So if finances is what's blocking you, I'm going to be your avenue. If knowledge is what's blocking you, I'm going to be your avenue. I mentor a kid who's a sophomore there, plays on the football team, trying to figure himself out. He now has a mental health podcast called the Better Life Podcast with Blake Logan, and he's doing very well. His priority is still school and football and what his future is, but he's still managing that podcast. He's doing great. He's a couple months in, and like I'm helping him, and he's gonna decline money that I'm giving him for free. He wants to work for it.
Hmm.
I have a connection for him, former NFL and college running back Monty Ball. I'm like, yeah, you can just actually like hit him up and y'all might can have a conversation. He's like, I don't have the money to do like a virtual setup yet, but when I get it, come back to me. That's his mindset. I'm like, we need those kids.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of those kids and you being a mentor, The last question I'll ask you is, what
Mhm.
advice do you have for, creative kids out there, creative youth who want to use their passion for creativity and turn that into a career and make that their life? What advice do you have for them?
My advice would be take as much from the past as possible. You'll gain nothing trying to be creative by watching the things around you. If you're watching mainstream media, if you're listening to mainstream music, if you sit in a bubble of your friends and pass around some sort of music, whatever's happening, you can only be inspired by a finite amount of ideas. However, the information that can be created is infinite. You just have to keep expanding your territory. And that's why I'm a journeyman. I'm always looking for the next piece of the world that I haven't figured out yet. And so the
Mm,
more we look at the past, it happens in cycles. The and that gets back to the cyclical um theory of information. If you're in your
mhm.
bubble, that's the only information that comes in. However, the more you keep broadening it out, it cycles. It takes a lot longer, but it
Yeah,
will cycle more. However, that's a lot more to pull from. So if you're in a small group, you can only pull from what's here, and that's instant.
yeah,
And now you're having repetitive thoughts. But the more that you explore, the more you expand, travel, talk to people, get to know people, and be comfortable within yourself, the more information that you have to pull from and create more. So
yeah.
discover and be proud of
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Before I let you go, how can people keep up with you, follow you,
Oh
support
boy.
you, get your music, watch what you're doing? Give it all to us.
There it is. IMDb. I have films going crazy in film festival right now. Thumbs up and changes. Shout out to Sirens Lullaby and shout out to my mother for helping me with those projects. LinkedIn. I do business consultations and I with online business. I know
Mhm.
more about online business than I do offline, but I do consultations. I'm always posting the things I'm doing with internships, what I'm doing musically. Even I posted a music video where it's like I tell my guys in the studio, stop like leaving your half drinking water bottles in my room. Drink the water and throw it away. But I did it in the music video. That's about you know what I'm saying? Accepting life for what it is. So it all circles back to like a positive, like get it together.
Yeah.
Um, but it's at MoonManFlo on pretty much anything and everything. If it's not, you weren't meant to find me that way. Um, the best way to find out what I'm doing, keep searching me. You're not gonna find me in the algorithm because I don't want to be found in the algorithm. If you want to kind of know what's going on, hashtag where's flow. You've seen it, and you'll see like where I am, what I'm doing. I don't know how current it'll be, but that's why there's timestamps on the internet. So hashtag where's flow. There's no apostrophe. Please don't do that. At MoonManFlo on anything that you think you could find me. And if you think you can find me on a music service, probably. So
Awesome.
that's
Awesome.
it.
Well, to those watching, we will have the links for those in the description below. So go ahead and check out everything that Movement Flow has to offer. Listen, thank you so much for joining me today. It has been such a
Absolutely.
pleasure getting to chat with you, getting to pick your brain, and seeing everything that Movement Flow has to offer. So thanks so
Thank you.
much. And I wish you so much more continued success in your career.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Those watching, please follow Team Racine Productions on all forms of social media at Team Racine. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. But most of all, thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.